LMU, like many universities, has implemented free period product stations on campus, including dispensers and plastic bins. However, more often than not, these machines are empty. No pads, no tampons, just an empty container, and sometimes even an informative graphic. Suddenly, something that should be a helpful resource becomes stressful, inconvenient, and sometimes even embarrassing for students who menstruate. The Loyolan went around LMU, checking a bathroom in almost every building on campus to see whether these machines were stocked or not. We're going into the gender-neutral bathroom in next to the den in Loyolan, and there is a machine here, but there's only one pad and nothing else. We're in North Hall in the second floor bathroom, and they do have a flow station here that's pretty stocked, but only 2 groups of campus really use this, so how accessible is that to the general LMU public? Out of the 23 public female and gender-neutral bathrooms that we visited on campus, 17 had dispensers and 5 were stocked with products. There are only 2 women's restrooms that had both pads and tampons available, located on the first floor of the library and first floor of Pereira Hall. We got a winner. Something like this, I think, is what students would mostly hope for when they walk into the bathroom and they need a pad or a tampon. Having both choices stocked and available for free is definitely better than only having, just tampons or nothing at all. So while the idea behind having free resources and machines sounds like a great solution on campus, are these programs sustainable and realistic to provide support for those who need it?
There's definitely some times that I rely on just the campus bathrooms. I try to avoid them just because, they're never really supplied in my experience. So I kind of try to stay away and just use my own stuff. But, of course, that's not always an option.
It's no secret that they're kind of always empty and definitely not really considered to be a priority for the students.
We're here in the Life and Sciences building on the first floor women's restroom, and they do have a machine here. It is empty. However, they also have this brochure here from ASLMU's Menstrual Hygiene Initiative, where they hope to have a fully funded free product program in the coming year. But how long has this been a thing? How many years has this been up here for? Let's go back further. In 2019, Ken Kavanaugh and Emily Sinsky, former ASLMU president and vice president, were inspired by other universities that began providing free menstrual products to their students. They worked with OnFlow and ASLMU to begin a pilot program to make these resources accessible at LMU. These are the clear tubs featured around campus alongside informative sheets in many bathrooms. OnFlow is a company designed to provide free period products to public bathrooms, acknowledging that if toilet paper is free, period products should be as well. We talked to Austin Bevins to learn more about OnFlow and the ASLMU campaign that started this initiative.
We've been working with LMU, I think, for about 3 years now to help implement period products in the restrooms. We've done it with many universities, so we kind of help come up with that plan of action and make it work and make sure it's sustainable.
While OnFlow products can still be seen on campus, there's clearly still a gap between goals to provide these resources and the actual capabilities to do so.
But there is legislation that is requiring this. Public universities and colleges in California to provide period products in all female restrooms, gender-neutral restrooms, and 1 male restroom. This is when I'm working with student governments that want to make this happen at their school, especially in California. Then this is kind of that first step, like, hey, we need to be doing this. We should be doing this already. Like, what can we do to make it happen?
According to OnFlow, the goal is for period products to be stocked in the same way that custodial staff stocks toilet paper. But in reality, issues like low traffic, budgeting issues, and administrative turnover can delay that process. Even logistical factors like ADA compliance regulations can make implementation more complicated than expected. LMU isn't alone. Across the country, similar programs go through the same issue. We spoke to Delphine Hirsch, co-founder of The Flow, a nonprofit organization focused on expanding menstrual health access through education and product distribution.
How it affects the majority of the population. Like, it's probably one of the least niche health issues that there are on this planet. Accessible means where every woman and girl can have a safe, reliable way to manage their menstrual care in a way that's dignified and doesn't compromise their potential. It's challenging because there's no funding for it. So you have to find funding and or get donations of the product that you are hoping to distribute for free. And then you need probably consistent staff members.
For AmpFlow, at least, it depends on the university or college, but over the years, we've gotten feedback that we're seeing about $2 to $5 per student to keep these products filled. The reasons you might see it stop or maybe have a little break is because of turnover. I work with a lot of student governments that kind of start this implementation. Maybe the finance chair, the president of the student government, the VP, and of course they're graduating at some point. So we get ahead of that with communication and make sure that we're kind of being passed along to the next person that's going to be overseeing this.
It can be tricky in terms of the chain of distribution to the people who need it. If there isn't like, just consistent points of access and relationships between partner organizations that serve low resource women and girls and the people getting those products to them, for free or in a way that those organizations can make best use of.
While the goal is ultimately accessibility, without consistency, accessibility becomes uncertain and creates potentially endangering situations for students who menstruate. But solutions do exist. Experts emphasize that successful programs rely not just on installing dispensers, but on sustained funding, consistent staff for partners to restock supplies, and ongoing education to reduce stigma and encourage use. Providing free access to period products in all bathrooms is an ongoing but important process, one that is needed to follow through on the goal of accessibility for everyone at LMU.
You have a lot of power as a student at a college, so I think if you get together and make it known what you want, make sure you get that feedback, that data that you can provide to them, and we're here to help as well.